What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. This, not really a review, it's kind of just me talking about how I use this as a photographer and videographer. I recommend watching Dave 2D because I was thinking about doing something similar, but when he uploaded that video, all I could think of was it's good enough. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. This is the base MacBook Pro 14-inch. This is the £1,900 one. I don't know what it is in dollars. So to begin with, I'm just going to answer all the questions that I kind of had to begin with, and that is battery life and performance. So my previous experience with the MacBook is this, and it's not mine. I bought it from my girlfriend, and I used it every now and then. And since we moved in together, it's kind of a bit more frequently I use it, but it left a lot to be desired. Like, this thing heated up like a bitch. The fans ran like a bitch. And the battery life was just shit. Like, doing very basic photo editing and just touching up in Lightroom, just like finishing up doing brushes and radial filters and all that type of thing, and it lasted an hour and died. And in that hour, I would say I was working for half an hour, and every 5 minutes the fans and heat would go up and it was just unusable. This, on the other hand, no issue. Battery life, I charge it maybe once or twice a week. I don't use it for 10 hours a day, but I usually work, I'll come home, and then I'll do some work on my computer, chuck it on an SSD, and then I'll put the SSD in this, and then Bob's your uncle, you know. When I got it, doing it 70-80%, and that whole night I was downloading, installing, watching films, kind of just testing out, editing, just like loading. I wasn't doing any hard editing, I was just loading things up, flicking through all my images, and it wasn't struggling, but the battery lasted all day. And I think by the end of the day, from like 6 p.m. till 2 a.m, and I think it'd gone down to like 30%, which to me is just, it's insane. And it's what you want from a laptop. I'm not going to buy a laptop that doesn't survive without a plug. Performance, again, I've had no issues. I've not done anything too hard in it. It's mostly just like wedding photography, going through all little wedding photos, just applying filters. There's been no lag, no nothing like that. No fans kicked up, no heat, which I'm still surprised by, because most of the time I'm using it on like a duvet or a quilt, because I'm rarely using it on a hard surface like this, because if I'm at a table or something, I'm usually on my computer, which is potentially more powerful, but I don't know. I haven't benchmarked them, and I'm not going to benchmark them unless you guys ask for it, because benchmarks don't mean much to me. As long as it gets what I want done without me like getting pissed off with it crashing and that, then I'm good. At the moment, just Lightroom and DaVinci Resolve. I haven't tested Premiere because I don't use it anymore. It's just not worth the money to how much it crashes. It's just, that pisses me off. The other thing actually I want to talk about is MagSafe. I know you're probably getting fed up of hearing about this, because every video I watch, they're like, oh, MagSafe is back, man, that's fucking awesome. And I just think, well, it's just a fucking magnet, man. Just get over it. And no shit, no kidding you. The first day that I was using this, I plugged it in. I was trying to get it behind my table counter just to like put all the plugs in and set it all up. And as I walked away, I kicked this, and the laptop didn't move, and this just popped off. So I can't say that would have happened with the USB-C, but it effortlessly just detached, and I'm quite thankful that I didn't break my laptop on day one. Another thing associated with, because I was talking about MagSafe, I might as well talk about the battery charger time. I think I got the standard charger, and it takes a while to charge. It takes maybe like an hour to an hour and a half, I think, to fully charge, which I have no big issues with, because most of the time when I'm using this, you'll use it for a week and then you spend an hour and a half charging it. So you can't complain too much, but I guess if you want fast charging time, just invest straight up on the better charger, because I think that does like a 45-minute or an hour charge or something like that. But this is like, I think it's like an hour and a half, which isn't a big time loss, but if you need that extra time. The speakers on this thing are actually insane. Now you can't see it again. The speakers on this thing, honestly, for a laptop, they're really fucking good. When I'm using this thing, I'm never using it for like 10 hours straight. I'm usually just getting home, editing for 2 hours, every hour, then watching the film for an hour or 2 hours, or watching YouTube for an hour or 2 hours. I last charged this on Saturday, and today is Thursday. So this battery, for me, has lasted 10, 15 hours, say 15, 16 hours, and I'm only on 55%. And that's said, about 3 hours a night. I'll just go through it and just watch videos, watch a film, do a light video editing, light photo editing. I say light, I'm wedding, so I've got 1,000 images, and I'm just going through them, kind of culling them all down. The biggest issues I have with this machine, it's not that many, it's just things that I find annoying. But the first thing is the amount of notifications this thing pulls through about updates, about this, about that, about the App Store, and it just pissed me off. So I've turned off literally all notifications. I don't want to know about it. The other thing that I dislike is, it's hard to explain. If you got an answer, when I put passwords in, sometimes the password, first letter I put into the password bar, it jumps back up to username. And it just does my head in. I don't know if I'm misclicking or what's going on there, but I haven't experienced it lately when I've been putting passwords in, but when I first had the laptop, it was just every single password I tried to put in annoyed me. I'm Welsh. Around me are Welsh town names, Welsh road streets, Welsh things. I have Welsh names, I have Welsh words that I use sometimes. And it just corrects it all the time. It's fucking annoying. I know you can turn it off, but I've just never gotten around to it. It's always the thing that, like, every now and then, say maybe like once a day, it pisses me off, or maybe once every other day. So it doesn't pop up enough for me to like take immediate action, but it's just annoying, man. These edges right here, it does its job. It does a really good job of cooling down, but they're sharp. I grab it like this sometimes, and it like pinches your fingers. Which, or if you're on your lap, you go like this. It's just a bit sharp, but the rest of the laptop isn't. I like compared to this one. Has a similar issue where like the edges are kind of just sharp, and over a long time, especially if you're resting your ankle, resting your wrist against it, it just kind of like digs in and feels annoying. Same with this, it's like this sharp edge. It hurts sometimes. So when it comes to video editing, again, like I said, I've had no issues, no hiccups, no lag, no nothing, no crashes. But that could just be because I'm using DaVinci Resolve now instead of Premiere Pro, which just crashed whenever, even on my good computer. It's always crashed. The only kind of lag I have is sometimes when you apply like a bunch of effects to a clip, like the first playback is just shit. It'll try playing through it and it just isn't good. But you can tell when that's going to happen because usually there's like the red box above it which says it hasn't been like rendered. It doesn't know what's going to happen basically. But once you play through once and it turns green, you're sorted. I've had no hiccups, no nothing. Same when it comes to Lightroom. I've had no lag, no nothing. I can kind of just flick through photos really fast. I think it's fast on my computer because when I edit videos off my SSD, it goes to the USB-A, whereas this goes to USB-C. So I think it's just faster reading all that information. Sending and receiving it, so it's fast to flick through it. But when I edit off internally, my computer seems to be about the same. But this thing it feels fast, and it is fast. When it comes to fans and temperatures, I don't know how to check temperatures, so if you want to know questions about it, can you let me know down below how to check? Because I've looked at apps, I've looked at websites, and nothing really clearly says. Some things you gotta pay for software, which I don't really want to do. But the fans, they've never turned on. They've never turned on to me for me to find out how fast the fans work. So for me, that's been a really good part, is that there's been no noise, no fan noise, no nothing, which to me, pretty fucking good. It's amazing that this thing can run at work, doing medium to heavy work. I wouldn't say super heavy, but it's like 1,000 images with all the stuff in it, and it doesn't need to kick up the fans. Whereas this bad boy, 5 minutes of just doing brushes, and it is taking off. So if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I will try my best to answer them, and I'll try to cut this down to like a 5-minute video. But like I said, if you want the best video that I feel like was out there, explained all this stuff, you just go for Dave 2D video. He explains battery life, which for the most part I'd agree on. I've never done, I think he said about 4 hours of heavy usage of benchmarking Ego. So I can believe that because I've used this an hour a day of light to medium usage. I don't know, it's hard to judge how much I'm using because the fans aren't kicking up, so that tells me that this maybe isn't that stressful on it. Yeah, if you want to know more, just let me know. Just ask a question, even if it's just how does the keyboard feel? I can answer that now, it feels fucking good. But yeah, let me know. I'll try my best to answer, or I may even make a video on it if it's a good enough topic. Yeah, so just subscribe if you want to, and leave a like. Thanks for watching, and see you next year probably when I upload again.